Hey guys, today I want to talk about self discipline a little bit. Self discipline is a very big topic, and I know it's something that uh, I know I lack it certainly, and I know a lot of people lack it, and they beat themselves up for it. Maybe you set a goal, you want to start adding something to your routine. Oh, I'm going to start running 3 days a week in the morning. You set your alarm for 4 a.m. You're excited. You snooze your alarm. You wake up at 8, and then you just hate yourself. You feel like dirt, and you get in this negative mindset of, God, why can I not just bring myself to do a simple thing like wake up in the morning? It's even worse that if you have a habit that you're trying to kick, and you kick it for a little bit, and then you eventually just fall back into it, and you're like, man, why can I not just not do this thing? How is it so difficult to control myself? I believe that the issue with self discipline is that in order to truly discipline yourself, you have to love yourself first. Unless you love something, you have no desire to discipline it. And when I say discipline, I don't mean any form of physical abuse. I'm talking about correcting behavior so that you can steer someone in the direction of truth, steer them in the direction of improving their quality of life. For example, I grew up with a bunch of kids who, when they were in middle school, early high school, they were staying out till 4 a.m. Their parents didn't care where they were. They were drinking, they were smoking, they were doing all these negative things, and it never made sense to me because I'm like, well, my father would never let me do that. If I tried to do any of that, God, I would be scared to death. And it made me feel like, well, their parents really don't care about them. Like, how can you care about your kid and let them get into all this destructive behavior when they're 14 years old, knowing that it's going to have such downstream effects? I mean, it's going to destroy their life in high school. They're not going to be able to get into college. I mean, it's going to alter their brain chemistry. And I quickly realized that, well, maybe their parents just don't love them to a certain degree. And that sounds mean and it sounds cruel. But if you, honest to God, love something, you're not going to let it destroy itself. You're not going to let it keep doing the same poor behavior over and over again without consequence. It's because you love them and you want to fight for them. You're watching someone that you care for, someone that you love, destroy themselves. And it gives you such a horrible feeling that you have to push back. You have to discipline them. You have to push them in the right direction. As another example, I want to hone in on some of the writings of Seneca, a Stoic philosopher from antiquity, a very influential man, and wrote a lot. And he wrote a lot about how you can see the difference in how fathers and mothers love and treat their children. Of the fathers, he writes that the father orders his children to be aroused from sleep in order that they may start early upon their pursuits. Even on the holidays, he does not permit them to be idle, and he draws from them sweat and sometimes tears. And Seneca likens this towards the relationship that God has towards man. And he writes further, towards good men, God has the mind of a father. He cherishes them a manly love, and he says to them, let them be harassed by toil, by suffering, by losses, in order that they may gather true strength. Bodies grown fat through sloth are weak, but he who has struggled constantly with his ills becomes hardened through suffering and yields to no misfortune. Now, whether you are a theist or not, this is just an example of early philosophers drawing the connection of suffering equals discipline from God. God truly loves man not because he coddles him, but because he allows him to suffer. And through suffering, he grows stronger and is able to handle any misfortune that comes his way. To bring this all back around and to tie it into our original point of self-discipline stems from self-love, I really want to encourage you that the next time you fall or the next time that you don't do something that you wanted to, don't beat yourself up. You're simply feeding into the lack of love that you feel for yourself. Because I know what it feels like to be in that state of shame because you did something that you didn't want to, or you didn't accomplish something that you set before you, and you feel shameful because of that. But I must emphasize that you need to take a step back. You need to take a deep breath, and you need to treat yourself as you would treat someone else that you love dearly, whether it's a spouse or think about a child. If someone else that you loved more than anything, was doing the same behavior that you were doing, you wouldn't want them to do it. But you wouldn't beat them up. You wouldn't call them worthless. You wouldn't make them feel so little about their actions, because we all know that doesn't do anything to help anybody. You would pick them up and you would remind them that they are cared for and that they are loved. And so you just need to do the same thing to yourself. You need to pick yourself up a little bit. You need to sit yourself down, if you will, take a step back and just say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore because it's hurting me. It's treating myself worse than I deserve. I love myself, and because of that, I don't want to keep doing this. Or because I love myself, I want to do this. I want to get better at this. I want to become healthier. Whatever it is, just sit yourself down and realize that unless you truly love yourself, you will never be able to truly discipline yourself.